Thank you very much, Ahmed Sadis Hassan, for your introduction. The true message from each and every religion is not war, is the peace and kindness. Relationship between Jews and Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We all know the story of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's promoting Islam in Taif. While people are misrepresenting all the times, Islam is coming through the soul. And it's not like that. Islam actually started with kindness, and that's why people are converted. One of the non-Muslim person actually urinating inside the mosque. He said, I don't know, but one thing I regularly do, before going to the bed, I forgive everyone. So everyone knows like Umar Radhiyallahu anhu was like literally good warrior, but how many of actually follow the kindness of him? And he said, like this is the one of the beautiful religion I ever see, because this religion doesn't care who's raised you from, whose skin color you have, how much money you have, are you rich or poor? It really doesn't matter. Matter is that you are Muslim, everyone is equal. Yearly, in 100 days, around 1 million people were raped, killed, burned their house entirely. During that time, actually Muslims are helping all the Christians. So when you are talking about the humanity, kindness, if you're really a good Muslim, you will have the ultimate humanity, kindness, peacefulness in yourself. And your behavior is very much important to give a message to the non-Muslim that yes, Islam is a peaceful and the religion of kindness.
তৃতীয় সপ্তাহের মতো আমরা ইসলামিক ডিসকাশন অ্যারেঞ্জ করতে যাচ্ছি। আজকে আমাদের সবার শ্রদ্ধেয় আরিফুল ইসলাম ভাই।
Thank you very much, Ahmed Sadis Hassan, for your introduction. Today I want to discuss about kindness and peace in Islam. So throughout the world right now, the world is very unrest. War is everywhere. Even the people from the same religion, they are fighting with each other. The true message from each and every religion is not war, is the peace and kindness. Islam started from the beginning with kindness and peace. And Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is not the messenger and prophet for a certain group or for a certain people, certain race, for certain country. Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the ultimate messenger and the prophet for entire humankind. About that, Allah said in Surah Al-Araf, ayat number 158, say, O Muhammad, O mankind, indeed I am messenger of Allah to all you. That means Allah said He is the ultimate messenger for each and everyone. During that time, millions of people accepted Islam. How they accepted Islam from the one person to the millions. It started from the kindness. I want to start with some of the examples of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's kindness. Relationship between Jews and Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. One of the neighbors of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was Jewish. He was throwing trash every day to Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's house. And Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam actually kind of like not saying anything rough thing. One day he saw there is no trash coming, and he was a little bit worried why the trash is not coming to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam house. He checked the neighbor house and he found the Jewish guy is basically sick. And he's so sick he cannot actually throw his trash to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam then actually take care of him and until his recovery fully. We all know the story of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's promoting Islam in Taif. The peoples of Taif was throwing a stone all over him. He was so injured and bleeding that the Allah asked him to curse the entire community. And if Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that time cursed to them, then the Allah will basically destroy the entire community. But instead of cursing those people, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam actually pray for them to get the hidayah. We know all the story. And then and everyone knows what happened later. All the Taif people converted to Islam, and it is one of the center of the Islam during that time. And still now we have the example of kindness. So Islam is not always coming basically just through the word. Once people are misrepresenting all the times, Islam is coming through the soul, and it's not like that. Islam actually started with kindness, and that's why people are converted peoples. Another examples I want to give that the kindness of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. In the mosque in Medina, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his companions, Sahabas, was entering in the mosque, and they saw one of the non-Muslim person actually urinating inside the mosque. And then during the time, the companions getting really angry. They wanted to stop them. So what happened? Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked them to come, to stop them. Asked them, let him finish. After finishing the urination, then he talked with him in person and asked them not to, pee, urinating any sacred place, not in the mosque. This phenomenon changed his entire mind, and he believed completely that the person who can be calm and peaceful when I am peeing inside the mosque, the most sacred place, then he is definitely the ultimate prophet. And he took the Islam, converted to the Islam right away. So these examples we always, wanted to give to the peoples to behave good, even though that person is not Muslim, because your behavior represents your religion. Your behavior. One of the reason I'm saying, because we live in a country where Muslim population is less than 2%. So if your behavior is good enough, so that at the end of the day they will go back home and they'll talk to maybe then each other that yes, I met a guy who is a Muslim, who is basically well behaved. He has very kindness in heart. And then forgiveness is one of the important thing in Islam also. There is in Hadith, there is another story. Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and other his companions Sahabas sitting in the mosque, and Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was saying, okay, a man from the paradise is coming now. A simple guy entered in the mosque, no one knows him, like he's not a famous guy, he's just a simple person. And the Sahabas was like, we don't know him that much. He's not doing something extraordinary. The day second, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said the same thing. A man from the people of paradise is coming to you. The same person entered in the mosque. Day third, same person entered in the mosque. And then Abdullah ibn Umar was very curious. What things he does, we don't do. He was basically following that person, and he was living with him few days and observe every single thing. First important thing he's doing, that's we don't do. And then Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam literally saying, and he's entering the mosque. He follows few days, and then he found nothing. And he then after a few days he clearly said, okay, man, look, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said you are the man from the paradise. I was very curious, I did not find anything you are doing extraordinary. I saw you were going work, praying salah. Sometimes you do tahajjud, sometimes you don't. Like it's just regular life. What do you do? He said, I don't know. But one thing I regularly do, before going to the bed, I forgive everyone. I say to the Allah, Ya Allah, forgive everyone, even though they are doing the bad deed to me. That's the thing I do every single day. So forgiveness gives you the paradise. If you forgive today, Allah will forgive the day of judgment. Now, the kindness of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is spread to the other people, especially to the Sahaba. The Sahabas follows his kindness and the peace, and then it's spread to around the world. We know all about Umar Farooq. He was the person who actually the Khalifa of the half of the world, and the guy was literally sitting on the on the floor, and then he actually ruled the world from there. One of the kindness, we know everything. I want to give you the reminder how much good person he was. And if we check the ruler right now in Saudi Arabia to other country, and we see the significant difference between them. Umar Radhiyallahu anhu was riding to the camel. Everyone knows the story, and his servant was walking alongside with him through the desert, and he saw the servant it's really hard, and he was like literally hurting his feet and dehydrating. Hazrat Omar literally asked him to ride in the camel and he's going to walk alongside with him. After refusing few times, we know the story. After refusing few times, he actually finally he did that. And the servant on the camel, and then he was walking alongside, and he was the ruler of the half of the world. Just to say you, this is not driving a car. Like, okay, I'm driving, you can take rest. This is literally walking through the desert. Not only that, there is a little bit left of the water, he also gave to the servant. So everyone knows like Umar Radiallahu anhu was like literally good warrior, but how many of actually follow the kindness of him? The people saw that, and that's the message, like go around the world. The Islam is the religion of peace and kindness. That's how people were accepted Islam again and again. Now, we talked a lot about the story of the 1400 years earlier. Let's see what happened in 19th century. Another person, whose name is Malcolm X, is an African American prominent person, one of the very leader of the American civil rights movement. So during that time, in around 1940s, he actually born and raised in Michigan. His entire family was totally killed, shot. House was on the fire. And what happened actually next? He was just 6 years old. He's orphan, no one to take care of him. He was born as a Christian. And then he dropped out from the school when it's 8th grade. And then basically since he has no parents, no one to take care, he did some crime. He ended up in prison at age of 20 during 1940s. And during the prison time, he was basically getting teaching, learning Islam from the prison's mate. And then ultimately, he accepted Islam. He also went through the world, especially Africa, went through the Middle East. He also visited Hajj, Makkah. And he said, this is one of the beautiful religion I ever see, because this religion doesn't care who's raised you from, whose skin color you have, how much money you have, are you rich or poor. It really doesn't matter. Matter is that you are Muslim, everyone is equal. So he accepted Islam, and his ideology also helped him to go through the civil rights movement during that time. During the, Martin Luther King also promoting that time. So, and then from the history book, he actually literally left everything. He was drinking, he was gambling, everything. He was not taking any drug. He also quit smoking. He did everything just because of Islam. He has no one. His entire family was wiped out. He is the person who fight for the American civil rights. And not only that, he actually worked really hard to promote Islam. This is like 1940s. I want to give another very example, kindness of the Islam, not the war. We all know about, maybe we all know or not, but in 1994, in Rwanda, 1 million people were actually killed. It's like genocide happened. I want to give why it happened, what is the reason, and who the people were killed in 1994. So there are like two different ethnic groups. One of the group name is like Tutsis, another group is named Hutus. That's two different ethnic groups. The minority is like Tutsis and the majority is Hutus. Those two group of people, both from the Christian, and they are from the Catholic Christian. So the problem actually, what happened, the minority Hutus actually getting some favor from because that country was colonial from Belgium. So they're getting from favor, and then what happened, the Hutus people, the majority people did not take it right. In 1994, basically in April 6, the president of, president's airplane was shot down. He was ultimately probably dead. And then Hutus people literally start killing the Tutsis group. And who are killing those? Those are extremist Christian people. Government gave them the support to kill clearly in 100 days. Around 1 million people were raped, killed, burned their house entirely. Those Tutsis people, the Tutsis peoples, those are take the shelter in church. And those, they did not get the shelter, the church people also killing them. And I will give you the real life, like the people's that times, what they say. So this is the, then there is a documentary you can know, is actually one of the very famous newspaper, TRT World. Their name of the, news analysis, like from the ashes to genocide, Islam rises in Rwanda. Now question is that everyone is killing each other. Why Islam rises in between? So when people's killing each other, the leader of the Muslim people, they say, don't participate in killing, raping or anything. Stay calm. Don't do this anything. During that time, the Muslim people population was around 200,000. What happened actually? During that time, actually Muslims are helping all the Christians, the people who are killed. They giving the shelter as much as they can. As much as they can. Not only like one or two people. As much as they can. Not only that, they feeding them, taking care of them until the situation is completely restful. The kindness of this story spread everywhere in Rwanda. One of the examples, there is a guy whose name is Suleiman. From his quote, he said, Muslims were very few in number and had no capacity and power, but they decided to help others who were killed by others. When I saw efforts to help people during that time of danger, I said to myself, maybe this is the reality of Islam. This is the Islam they are talking about. I decided to become Muslim. There's the guy, his name is Suleiman. He was a Christian. Again, from the BBC analysis, there is another guy whose name is Abu Salem, who converted Islam 5 years after genocide. He said, the people who took shelter in church for safety from his word were killed, but he did not see any killings in mosque. He was asked why you choose Islam. He said, I was thinking whose religion is good after genocide. Then I found Islam is the good one. Islam was saving people from the mass killing. So I decided to convert Islam. Islam changed my life. I become better human. So when you're talking about the humanity, kindness, if you're really a good Muslim, you would have the ultimate humanity, kindness, peacefulness in you. So before 1994, the Muslim population was 200,000 around the world, around the Rwanda. Right now, around 700,000. Rising super increasingly. I can give a lot of examples. What actually, there is quite a few examples around the Rwanda times. What happened there? One of the guy, let me find his name. His name is Omar. Omar was born as a Christian, Catholic Christian. After genocide, he and his entire family devoted to the Islam. He is an imam of a small village in Rwanda. This has happened only because the peace, kindness and humanity they saw from the Rwanda people. Now, if this is not Islam, then I don't know what is the definition of Islam. So, ultimately, I just want to give the message that if anyone want to change his life, right, then really need to follow the message of Islam. What Sahabas did, Prophet Muhammad did, for the people who followed later. And then you can change yourself. And your behavior is very much important to give a message to the non-Muslim that yes, Islam is a peaceful and the religion of kindness. Because the reason I'm saying, because right now there's a lot of mess, especially after 9/11. Everyone knows that Muslim people are terrorists. There's a few bad apples who are actually damaging our religion super badly. If we we are right now the generation, if we keep maybe few people who know Islam is a peaceful and kindness, one thing for sure will say, yes, I knew a Muslim. He was a kind person, he was a good guy, he was an honest guy. One of the example I want to give, the last example about Omar Farooq. So one of his relatives came to the Prophet. I heard this story from my friends. Came to the Umar Radhiyallahu Anhu for a job. He need a job in government level. But Hazrat Omar did not know honestly, but he said, I have like that time he was working official work at night time, like he was doing some official work, and then he suddenly actually turned off his lamp and said, now we can speak. But he was like, why you are turning off your lamp? He said, because this is my personal business. To you, I cannot use the oil from the government, because I'm talking right now, I'm not going to talk with you about the government matter. That person did not even dare to ask him, give me a favor. Right away he understood how honest he is, how much honesty he has. He just talked with him several few things and went back. He never even asked. So Islam is the religion of peace, kindness, and of course honesty. And we need to follow this. I will try every day, even though like shaitans everywhere. And also should keep the message, the people surrounding us, the message of kindness, humanity, and peacefulness. Thank you very much.